And we are live. And we are only 2 minutes late.
2 minutes late. Nice.
Yeah, if you guys can believe it.
Not a bad one.
Not a bad one. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you, Yosef.
He wants us to turn the camera on.
He does want us to turn the camera. Let's just turn the camera. And to you, Benjamin, thank you for
And
joining
to
me.
you, Troy.
Well, thank you, Troy. It's so weird to hear you call me Troy.
It's like a news anchor.
Yes, okay. But before we begin, let's start with prayer, and then we'll discuss what's going on today. So, Hannah, would you like to open us in prayer, nice and loud?
Oh, okay. Thank you, God, for this day, and please help us have a nice Bible study today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Very simple. So it's a little bit of a change today. As you can see, my lovely wife is not with us. She's actually at a women's conference at the local church. I hope things are going well for her there. So to stand in for her is the much contested but never bested Ben Gottlieb.
Ben Gottlieb.
Your brother did not cheer for you.
No, he didn't.
No, that's okay. I cheer for you.
Oh, thank you, Dad. I'm with Papa today. It's Bring Your Son to Walk Day.
It's Bring Your Son to
Yay.
Work Day. Hardly work, but of course, today is Q&A, as it is the last Bible study of the month. So we will be discussing that, and Ben will be sharing with me here his thoughts, as well as his siblings. And of course, you're welcome to share yours. We are online. Joshua, we are online. Good. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Perfect. And you can submit your questions while we're live, of course, and we'll look at the Bible for solutions. So before we get any longer, of course, or into this more, can anybody tell me what's happened with the continuing war in Gaza?
I haven't checked the news
I
lately.
mean, it's still going on.
I never searched
It is still going on. You are not wrong about that.
Israel's still dragging their feet.
Tell me more. What do you mean?
They refuse to put an end to this. They clearly want this to happen.
When you say they, do you mean all the people of Israel,
I'm
the
talking
Jews
about
around the world?
Government of Israel clearly wants this war because they're gonna milk it for like support and make themselves into models. It's like,
Well, that has
Hamas is
certainly
bad.
helped. That has certainly helped us so far. We've certainly milked it for support,
I mean, they've
and
got
the
some.
world has fallen behind us.
They've got
and said
billions
and
from
said
the
we
U.S.
love you, Israel, and we're behind you, Israel. Instead of Biden shutting things down, holding weapon shipments to Israel, none of that ever happened. You're right.
We've
You're right.
donated billions of American taxpayers' money,
And we should
to
donate billions
Israel.
more.
What I'm saying is they're milking this for everything they can.
Who's they? The people of Israel?
Israel, the country,
The country of Israel. So the people in Tel Aviv are milking this for
the
everything they can.
government of.
The government.
When I
of
say
Israel.
country, I mean the government.
So there's a big difference between the government of a nation and the people of a nation.
Well, the nation is the
As you know.
people, and the country is the government. That's what I think.
Nation and country are synonymous. It's going to be an interesting Bible study today. All right, today is the 659th day of the war in Gaza, of course, since October 7th, so many years ago, and we still have approximately 50 hostages being held in Gaza. Big things that have happened, of course, is there was supposedly going to be an enormous ceasefire. Do you guys remember that?
There were several of those. I don't know which one.
Oh, this is the latest. Brokered by Egypt and Qatar and Israel and the United States.
Of course.
And supposedly it was going to be, Israel stopped bombing Gaza for 60 days, and in turn, Gaza will return 10 hostages. 10 of our 50, yeah.
Yeah, they want this to happen.
So Israel agreed to this, actually.
That's retarded, yeah.
And that is retarded. Why is that retarded?
Because they're going to get 10 hostages for like
60-day ceasefire?
That's stupid.
It's stupid. So Israel said, yes, we'll do it. And Hamas just yesterday said, no, we want more. So it fell through. And just today, or was it late yesterday, President Trump said, and I know what a fan you are of President Trump.
I'm a huge fan of President Trump. I don't hate his guts at all.
President Trump said, you know what? Hamas doesn't want a deal. Israel's just going to have to finish the job, which is what we've been saying since October 7th. And the reality is, if the government, not the people, but the government of Israel had done its job, October 7th would have never happened, number one. And number two, when it did, we would have gone in there and finished the job on October 8th. So, but now it is the longest war in our history, unfortunately. Any other big things happened concerning Israel and Hamas and Gaza this past week?
Dismantle Israel. Put in a constitutional government like the USA.
You don't want to dismantle Hamas?
Dismantle them as well. Dismantle them all. Yeah.
So
Bring him down. Make him American.
President Macron of France announced this past week that France officially recognizes a Palestinian state, Palestinian country. It's largely ceremonial since there is no Palestine. There aren't even a Palestinian people, and there is certainly no Palestinian state, but he said it nonetheless. So the next question, of course, is, well, where is this Palestinian state going to be that he has recognized? And the answer is, we don't know.
I ain't touching that with a.
I'm just
500
saying.
foot
I'm
pole.
just saying that's what he did. So very interesting. Unfortunately, right after this was made, the same day, the leader of the Netherlands sent a little message via social media to President Macron and said, "Happy suicide,"
What?
meaning France was killing itself diplomatically and
Ah.
socially by just embracing this. I thought it was funny. Yeah, so things are getting pretty rough there. Meanwhile, the battle in Gaza still continues. We have not yet received any more of our 50 hostages back. Of those, we believe about 10 to 20 may or may not be alive. We don't know. But the remaining, 30 to 40 are probably already passed away. Haven't gotten a single one back, unfortunately, and the bombing continues. Finally, this week, the United Nations condemned Israel for starving the Gazans, it said. You are starving Gaza. In reply, Israel sent a video of a drone shot of a warehouse in Gaza filled with literally thousands and thousands of tons of food, and it's not being distributed. Why?
I don't know.
The United Nations said, Israel, you can't distribute the food. We don't trust you. We'll do it. And they haven't.
Hmm.
So it's sitting there. So Israel said, if starvation's happening, which is not, then here's the food. Why aren't you distributing it like you said you would? There's been no response yet from the United Nations. Yeah, so it's been a dark and difficult day indeed for this past week. Any other events of anti-Semitism that anybody has heard about this past week?
This week, no.
No? Have you been following it and reading it?
I mean, I have ADL newsletters. I don't know.
Yeah, those newsletters usually about a couple weeks late or behind.
I haven't heard anything.
All right. I also have not heard of any major issues of anti-Semitism in the United States this past week. If there are, I haven't heard of them. In the United Kingdom, there was an incident just a couple of days ago where a Jewish man was carrying his toddler must have been 2 or 3 years old, in the subway, right, of London. He was brutally attacked by a guy who said he was an Islamicist. I don't know if he was or not, but he said he was. And the guy tried to rip the child out of the Jewish man's hands. A scuffle ensued, and then a bunch of Londoners came and started beating the Muslim guy so that he wouldn't kidnap the child. Very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very weird. So things continue to be tense, unfortunately. All right. So that is what is going on in Gaza. Any thoughts about that?
I have not touching that.
Too late, you already did. You said you wanted to dismantle Israel.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not gonna take a stance on Gaza or Palestine or anything like that.
So you'll dismantle Israel, not Palestine or Gaza?
I'm okay with dismantling the entire Middle East.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Put American forces in there. Give them a constitutional government, and we leave. It'd be like we did in Afghanistan, but we could do it right this
I was
time.
going to say Afghanistan didn't work.
Well, we pulled out too fast.
We have to still be there. We have to guarantee.
Oh yeah, we have to. Yeah,
So
I'd be
a
okay with it.
peacekeeping force, a U.S. peacekeeping. Why don't we just make Israel the 52nd state?
Well,
Canada
that's
would be
Why
colonies.
our-
don't we just combine Israel, Iran, Iraq, all that, just make it one big state?
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. We make
Absolutely,
one big,
that would absolutely work.
one Middle
Yeah.
Eastern state. It would work with
Yeah,
us.
that would be an extreme military state. There would be U.S. Army everywhere.
Yeah, hua. Let's go.
And
Go
tell
in
me-
like we did in the Middle East.
No, there would be no constitutional right. No civilian would be allowed to carry a weapon.
No, I'm not saying a military state. I'm saying we go in and
No,
like we
the-
give them a
the Middle East
constitution.
people can't freaking behave. to
I mean,
save their
clearly
lives.
they can't trust. They can't be trusted to handle Israel, Jordan, whatever. They clearly can't handle it. They're gonna bicker with themselves. And
Yeah, for real.
U.S. I think the U.S. and the UN should go in, glass them, freaking give them a constitution. And,
Glass them. You want them to use nuclear weapons against the Middle East.
no,
You want to
they-
kill 1 billion Muslims.
No. Okay, not
That
glass
is not
them.
the answer.
Not glass
Yeah.
them.
If we have to
Not
kill-
glass them. I'm saying like we demolish the current those states in the Middle East, restructure it. UN, America, we give them a constitution, and when we eventually slowly, like over the course, like 100-year plan, like they did in Hong Kong, the British did in
British,
China,
yeah.
we do that, there'll be peace in the Middle East.
If we have to kill 1 billion people to keep America number one,
America. I don't think we should kill a
No,
billion people.
let's not
Don't-
kill a billion
don't
people.
Kill a billion people.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying is, America, we could do it. We could, like we didn't. We went in and gave. We went in and gave Afghanistan a new government, and
Which lasts like a year before there was a revolution.
it lasted 20 years.
The dude that we put in charge is no longer there.
That's because we pulled out way too fast. I'm talking about before we pulled out. I'm talking like we go in and we stabilize them ourselves.
Please note the views expressed on the show do not necessarily express the views of
Yes,
the
they do. Yes, they do.
publisher.
Yes,
I
they
do
do.
not think we
Yes, they
should
do.
kill 1 billion people. I don't think we should nuke the Middle East.
I didn't say we should. I mean, I didn't say.
Well, you said we should glass.
I
them,
meant
so.
like demolish. I'm not talking about glass. I meant like.
Why don't we make Canada the 51st state? And then
don't-
Israel and the entire Middle East the 52nd state. And we're renaming the Mediterranean the American Sea.
Canada has proven they are, you know.
Sea of America.
I don't think we should go and be colonizers. I don't think we should colonize. I just think we should do like we did in Afghanistan. We helped them out. We gave them a constitution. They did great under us.
incredible, impressive. Let's look at Libya.
What do we do in Libya?
He doesn't know how we took out Gaddafi, and that led to civil war that's still raging today.
Well, obviously,
Killing
we
thousands of
would, we would
people.
have to stay in for a long time. I'm not talking we'd have to stay in.
And you know what U.S. president set off Libya and destroyed that country?
Oh, Democrat.
It was Obama. It happened during
Democrats,
Obama.
all
so-
Democrats.
No, I am not pro or against any particular party. The United States has a right to whatever political party they wish, but I don't think the solution is nuking the Middle East and then taking over Israel. I don't think that's going to work.
We would take
Okay.
over several other countries, but again, not make them states. You know, give them their own governments. Not don't be colonizers. We help them out. We help them out.
Sea of America.
that would suck. I don't believe in taking over Canada either. Don't. Do
I
that.
agree. You
Don't
can't
do
leave
that.
Canada alone. So, obviously, we need continued prayer for Israel and the Jewish people. We need continued prayer for Gazans and for Hamas, right? These are all people made in God's image, and we need prayer that they would come to a saving knowledge of Yeshua, the Messiah, and not to die in a fiery heat of a nuclear blast.
I didn't mean a nuke. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean nuke. I meant like we go in, get rid of the government. Just there's no install a because they don't have a constitution. They don't have like
They do, yeah. Israel does not have a constitution.
they
That's
have
true.
an unstable as freak government. Like really.
Yeah, actually, it's about to collapse again. The Orthodox Party has left Netanyahu's government.
Oh.
So now it's teetering on edge, and it might fall, and there might have to be elections again in the middle of a war.
This would be the time to do it. This would be the time to go in and freaking.
Who do you think should be new prime minister?
We would have
Boris
to.
Johnson.
Boris Johnson.
No, it'd have to be some
Not
Israeli
Jewish.
Israeli guy, like someone who's a citizen, in order to keep the peace. You know, like I don't know. We give them fair elections, but like you know, with the like not just every 2 months.
You're
They
not
have
the dictator.
the dictator.
There are elections and new constitution.
No, no, I'm talking. I'm being legit. I'm not. I'm talking about like actual restabilization.
Well, I think Israel would have a more stable government if they had a constitution,
100%.
but they don't, and so it's a mess. All right. Any last thoughts on what's going on in Gaza or Israel or the continuing war?
Not
No?
a fan of Israel.
Hannah? Nope.
I wish it would end.
Well, I wish it would end too, Hannah, and it will eventually, but it's not going to end today, unfortunately. No war lasts forever.
It shouldn't.
Yeah. So, okay. Today is, of course, the 26th day of July 2025. It's also the first day of our new Jewish month, which is the month of.
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
There's not a Jewish month named No
Oh.
Idea. I'm joking. It's the first day of the Jewish month of Av, A-V. And why is Av a special month in the Jewish calendar? Can you remember anything that happened in the Jewish month of Av?
Yom
Temple destroyed.
Kippur?
Yes, well
Oh,
done, Benjamin.
okay.
Now Yom Kippur, Hana, that's Tishrei. That's coming in the fall. But our temple was destroyed right twice on the same day, separated by a few centuries. So on Tisha B'Av, which is the 9th of Av, which is about obviously a week and a day, a couple of days from now, we have the destruction of Solomon's temple, and then several centuries later, on that same day, the temple wall was penetrated, and the Herod's temple was destroyed by the Romans. So terrible, terrible time. It's a very sad day. It's usually a day of fasting and prayer. And we will talk about that more next week. If you are following the weekly Parashot readings, which are the Torah readings for the week, we are in Matot Masai this week. which is Numbers chapter 30, verse 2 to Numbers 36, verse 13. So lots of good stuff in there as always. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, good. All right, so that's what's going on. That's where we are, and we are in the Q&A. So we have that at the end of every month. So if you have questions, we will look at the Bible for answers. Who has a question for our Q&A?
Well, I have one.
Hannah, what is your question? Nice and loud. She's not allowed to ask questions.
No.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. She has fine questions.
Do you want to suppress the freedom of speech?
No.
Okay, I know Noah was told to do to have like 2 animals each, but why 2? Why not like more than that?
Was it actually only 2?
Yes,
Was it?
only 2 animals each.
Are you sure it was only 2?
2 of each group of animals, but
It's called a species.
yes.
It's about preserving species. Although it's been proven that one thing can't really repopulate a race. You need at least like 100 or
Oh, so since you said that's been proven, can you provide that evidence?
yeah.
Go ahead. So while Benjamin's looking up something that doesn't exist, Hannah has asked a question: why was Noah commanded to take only 2 of a species? So, and the question would be: is that true? Was he commanded only to take 2 of every species?
why-
No, it is not.
Joshua, what do you have for us?
He took, I think it was 2 of every unclean species and 8 of every clean species.
Can you find that in
Not a
Scripture?
fair
Oh, yes.
ratio.
Hmm?
It's not a fair ratio.
Can you find that?
Doesn't sound
yes.
fair.
And Hannah, do you have your Bible?
Well, in my room.
It is Bible study. We need Bibles.
All right, 2 lone individuals of a species cannot recover a race of like creatures like bugs or whatever, because of loss of genetic diversity. Tiny founding population carries only a fraction of genetic diversity present originally. Inbreeding depression, very few individuals mating between themselves eventually lead to that. And demographic and environmental stochasticity. Small populations are very, very vulnerable to random events. Larger populations can survive other events.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Now, what is the science that disproves what Benjamin just shared? Mitochondria Eve and Adam. Mitochondria is not passed through the man.
Oh,
Mitochondrial Eve and primal Adam. What are these? What are these 2? Who are these persons?
basically the farthest common ancestor, may I say, of all humans.
Yeah, so it was back in the late 90s and early part of the 21st century that it was discovered through genetics that all of mankind has descended from one man and one woman. And she's called mitochondrial Eve. Benny was going to look up, try to blow that out of the water. Go ahead. And it was called a primordial Adam, right? The first man and first woman. Now, obviously, some say these folks come from Africa, some say they come from Mesopotamia, etc., blah, blah, blah. But the reality is we've been able to track that. So we do know that an entire species can flourish from one man and one woman in the human race. And in fact, in our genetics, and I say this not just as based on those articles, but even as a physician, there is enough genetic diversity in one person to create whatever genetic diversity we need in a population. Then, of course, we have that bottleneck genetically when the Great Flood happened, right? We were back down to 4 men and 4 women, Noah and his wife and his 3 sons and their wives. So, but the question remains on the table, did Noah actually take only 2 of every species?
Yeah.
I just want to point out
Oh,
that
just a second. So let's have this first, then we'll get to that, because that'll be a good thing. So don't lose your page. So go ahead.
Genesis 7:2, God speaks to Noah.
Okay, so we're in Genesis chapter 7, so let's get there. And could you start at verse 1, please?
The Lord said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, of male and his female, 2 each of animals that are unclean, a male and his female."
Okay, thank you. So Hannah, Genesis chapter 7, verses 1 and 2. Did Noah take only 2 of each of the creatures?
Well, not really.
No. So what did he take?
Okay.
Well, Joshua just read it. So what did Joshua just say?
7 of every kind of clean animal and 2 of every unclean animal.
Okay, that's what Joshua just said. Were you listening to him?
Yes.
Obviously not.
Okay.
Yes, I have one.
well, I mean,
Okay.
he said it.
So
You don't have to reread it.
so does that answer your question? Okay,
Oh.
so what does it mean?
That he didn't really take every animal
He took more. He took a lot.
equally. Like 2 of every one. Not equal.
Okay, then it wasn't equal, correct. The question is why?
He just didn't.
Probably because the clean
He was
animals
told.
were more important. I think the unclean animals.
Okay.
Wait. How are the clean and unclean animals?
I was waiting for you. This is before the laws of kosher and Torah, right? Because the kosher laws are in Leviticus chapter 11. So, what was clean and what wasn't, and what law was separating those from one from the other?
I have no idea.
We don't know.
That's fair.
We have no idea. Bible doesn't tell us.
It
So,
doesn't say.
we can speculate and conjecture, but in the end, we don't know. So we just know that there was a division by Noah's time, which was about 1,656 years after creation, based on the Masoretic text, a little bit longer based on the Septuagint text, that there was a differentiation between the two. Some say that Noah took extra clean animals so that they could be sacrifices. You know, when the ark landed, and we do know he set up an altar. There was the rainbow. Others say he did it because God wanted simply more clean animals than unclean on the earth. I don't know. Bible doesn't tell us. Joshua. Oh, I thought you had something. Yes.
No, listen, I hope he took more clean animals because he sacrificed something within it.
He's unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there are no unicorns.
Yeah.
Today. Yeah, exactly.
He just the last
He just,
unicorn.
he just took out the unicorns. Exactly.
All right,
So,
Noah battle.
just a second. So, does that answer your question, Hannah?
Yes.
Okay. So Noah did not take just 2 of every animal. He took 7 of the clean and only 2 of the unclean. Interesting. All right, Benjamin, you had something about mitochondrial Eve.
All right, we're gonna have a nerd battle.
Oh, bring it on. I love a nerd battle.
All right. Now, according to BioLogos, which is a Christian company,
Are they? I've never heard of them.
they are.
I don't know.
According to BioLogos, mitochondrial. It's interesting about the mitochondrial Adam, mitochondrial Eve. First of all, there's several things. First, they're not the only ancestors in the genome. Like they are as far back as we go to other human, to the first humans, according to evolution. But what's interesting is one, they're dated hundreds of thousands of years ago. So that's
true.
interesting.
Yeah, and not millions, which is also interesting.
But it's also 100. Well, I mean, the human race is only like 300,000 years old. So that
are we though? I don't know, because if you look at it from an evolutionary time scale,
okay,
right?
100,000 years.
Even more. If you look at proto-humans.
I mean, I'm talking about like
Yeah, good 500,000 years.
I'm talking about Homo sapiens sapiens, the one we are. That only goes back about like 300,000 years
Yeah, but
at most.
When do we stop becoming Homo sapiens?
When the skull record, when that changed, when we like our modern.
Just a quick question: how much time happened before the proto-humans and the Homo sapiens?
Homo sapiens.
Depends on how you ask.
Now Neanderthals, which is the farthest back, I believe, of proto-humans, was like 1 million years ago. But I'm talking about like our modern humans are only like 300,000 years old. Well, it's true though. Like the skull record changed. Like
So we think we Homo species by skull shape.
well, I mean,
Absolute and relative dating have proven to be unreliable sources.
Exactly.
not using radium dating, but using things like lead and even ice sheets. We can, and
We can't use those because we don't know how stable they were when they were forced.
Josh, Josh,
So
there
the
is no
problem
evidence.
is
There is
exterior
no
standard
evidence
by which to measure these
anywhere.
things, right?
There's no evidence anywhere that the carbon metric dating, like the lead or anything like that. There was no evidence anywhere that was ever different in any, because these are elements. These aren't slowly
we don't know.
Oh,
degrading
I
faster. It's
disagree.
a fact.
Isn't that
It's a
have
fact,
to
a
speak into your mic
scientific
like that.
fact.
You're
that-
doing that
that-
to be louder.
That's because
Anyway.
y'all are talking over me.
Yeah.
It's a scientific
Please do.
fact that there was no evidence that
For
that,
what?
that lead ever like decayed faster back then.
Oh,
or
that's not
decayed-
true.
It is true.
That's
It
not
is
true.
true.
The half-life
That's
of
not
lead like
true.
a million years, something like that. So it would be unreliable no matter what you
If
do.
you look
No,
at
we
the
know that because
isotope-
lead exists. Because that
Okay,
lead,
All
is,
right.
lead is the result
Uh,
of things that have broken down.
I'm going to
into-
rein this back in. We're back to mitochondrial Eve.
I'll prove evolution to you.
Evolution's wrong. It's a lie.
Evolution's real.
Evolution
Dude,
is not
Christians
real.
believe in
At this
evolution.
point, I'm so
I don't
tired
care if
of
they believe in
evolution.
evolution or not. It's wrong.
I hope evolution-
Some of Dad's sources believe in evolution.
Then they're still wrong.
evolution-
So his sources
what?
are right, mine are
Do
wrong.
you know what
That's 'cause my
scientific
source is the
understanding
Bible.
of evolution?
His sources about my sources.
Oh wait,
the
Joshua
actual
was saying something.
Do you know how many horrible atrocities were done in the name of evolution?
Do you know how many horrible atrocities were done under Christianity?
Kinda
Okay,
wanna
but
ask
evolution
anyone-
is true. Those atrocities are all right.
But Christianity, but if
But let's not
Christi-
get into that.
but what I'm saying is,
Survival of the fittest, right?
but if evolution is true, then why are you debating it?
Why not? If it's true, then it's true. There's nothing we can do about it.
But why are you so against it then?
Because it's part of my natural human evolved
It
state.
doesn't make sense. That's
to
why.
want to
Why doesn't it make
by
sense?
debating.
Why doesn't it make sense?
All right. Again, we're diversifying way too
I
much
think
here. We're
it's more
going
like
down the rabbit hole.
Ignorance of
Let's,
evolution.
Benjamin, you got to
Oh, I definitely know.
maintain professionalism.
I'm Darwin's bulldog. I
Benjamin.
don't. I'm kidding.
Benjamin, maintain professionalism. So let's go back to mitochondrial Eve. You were saying something about that.
There was a false woman and a false man. However, according to that source, the false man mitochondria actually is younger than the false woman mitochondria. So yes, the oldest mitochondrial egg does come probably from one woman, but the mitochondrial atom is far later. The mitochondrial Eve.
So we have a trace it back all the way. Easy.
Okay.
So what I'm saying though is, maybe, but today we know that it's very rare for just like two things to like, maybe they can, maybe I'm wrong, who gives a frick? What I'm talking about is that
I mean, that's the basis of your whole thesis here.
what I'm talking about is
How much younger is it?
like 100,000 years.
Okay, that doesn't make sense. How can humanity rest when two people who live 100,000 years apart from each other?
Well,
That's the
his
freaking
point.
problem. That's the
That's what
problem.
he's
We
saying,
don't
they couldn't.
freaking know.
Okay, so the interesting, right? Mitochondrial Eve and all that. It's the very fact that these personages exist is also endlessly fascinating. There's a white paper published in Bio magazine in September 2012. It's titled "Revisiting an Old Riddle: What Determines Genetic Diversity Levels Within Species?" It's a question we haven't considered yet. Your statement, your reputation was that there's not enough genetic diversity in just two of a species in order for that species to survive, right? And according to this article, and it is a fascinating article, and it's a white paper, so it's been peer reviewed, we can't even quite yet define what genetic diversity is or what is involved with that. The final paragraph, or the conclusion, says that with genome-wide polymorphism data and mutation rates estimates from many species, hypotheses about the ecological and genetic determinants of diversity levels will become testable. As one example, the major features of demographic history of species can be inferred and integrated with independent reconstruction of ancestral ranges in order to assess whether the species are with larger census sizes are less stable. In addition to these analyses, new theories will be needed to relocate ecological and life history factors to mold the selection and the patterns of genetic variation seen across organisms. Such studies may not provide a universal answer as to what actually defines genetic diversity and all the factors involved, but regardless, they will help fill a gaping hole in our understanding of genetic variation and its determinants. Now, one of their postulates, or one of their theses in this paper, is that the more you have of a species, the more mutation you're going to have. Therefore, the species begins to work against itself.
Mutation is going to happen regardless.
Only mutations are negative.
Well,
All of
obviously-
them-
I'm just saying, is mutation is random. It's
Obviously,
not-
if I have an N factor of 10, I'm going to have more mutation present than if I have an N factor of 2.
that's
right.
bullcrit though, because like
It's
That's
true.
not bullcrap.
What
that's
is
Dad,
true.
they
really
said that-
basic
I
genetics?
understand, but what you're saying is more is
These
not
are
good.
No, I'm not
I'm
saying
gonna
that.
find a
I'm
white
just,
paper that's it. Let me see. I'm gonna,
this
This
is from
is the same
Dr.
more-
Leffler, Ballergy,
More
Maute,
population
Meyer,
of
Sigel.
genetic-
well, obviously, there's more that can go on, but what I'm saying is mutation is not evident of the instability of the gene because mutation happens regardless.
No, but
Well, the more
mutation-
genes you have floating around, the more mutation you're going to have.
there's more mutations,
There's not.
more
No, they didn't say.
stable.
They said they didn't know. They said they didn't know.
Actually, they did state that in the paragraph I just read, right?
Yeah, they didn't know. So clearly,
No, they said they didn't know, but they also said the more you have, the more mutation variation.
no,
you
they
have.
said they hasn't been proven.
just read
They
it,
said it
Benjamin.
hasn't been proven. Look,
Okay.
Roger says
Genetic determinants of diversity levels are becoming testable. One example, major demographic history and integrated independent reconstructions of ancestral ranges and size of less testable. In addition to these analysis, there will be ecological
in order
history.
to assess whether
So,
species are, they don't know yet.
we-
It says right there whether.
So what you're saying is we can't really trace the factors involved in genetic diversity.
Yes.
And because of that, we cannot say whether or not two factors of a species or two members of one species will have the genetic diversity or no to make that
Yes.
species survive.
Yes.
Well, there we go.
Well,
That's the end of the
that's
discussion.
not an answer. That's just we don't know.
Welcome to science.
That's just it's. What I
No.
mean is though I could be right.
You're not
You
right.
could be wrong.
I'm. But that says I could be right.
And the reason you're not right is because the Bible has something additional to add about it.
Of course.
I know, silly those Christians believe in the Bible, right? What is that? That's crazy.
No,
So-
Bible out of the question. Evolution's too random. But
It is.
to actually.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, it's not
substantial.
actually. If you actually study it, it's not that.
Oh, I have. Oh, I definitely have.
He studied it twice.
Oh, yeah.
And you've definitely studied it more than I. But like, what I mean is like to say that like evolution
Listen,
is fully random.
Stop getting so heated. about
Maybe.
everything.
I'm not getting heated. You're saying
Okay,
that this.
just be
You're saying this
professional,
as
that's
a
all I'm saying.
fact, and it's not a fact.
It is a fact.
Evolution isn't as random as you think. Natural selection gives it a direction.
The definition of evolution is random
What kind of
mutations.
what kind of natural selection?
It depends.
What kind?
Okay, according to
It really did.
according to evolution, some things mutate to the bare minimum needed to survive.
Well, according
So
to
how did we get so complex?
according to
If
evolution,
bacteria can survive,
according
why are we
to-
still bacteria?
according to evolution, things that start small and not complex can become far more complex over time.
How?
They can't.
Yes, they
How?
can. We've
No, they
proven it with
can't.
codes, and we've proven it in.
No.
Code?
Yes.
You
code.
mean the intelligent thought put into a code can make it more complex?
I'm not saying
So
that.
you need an intelligent designer to make code better.
I'm not. This isn't an argument about intelligent design because
It's
intelligent
absolutely an
intelligent
argument
design
about
could
intelligent
actually be leading evolution.
No,
In fact, a lot
it's
of Christians,
not.
a lot of Christians believe
They're wrong.
that
But
they're
evolution
wrong.
Because
goes
the Bible
directly against
says.
the Bible.
Yeah, it directly contradicts it.
Well, a lot of the the Bible's freaking fake anyway. It doesn't freaking
So is
matter.
evolution. Right?
Oh, so,
So the
now
Bible's
we
fake
get
and
into
evolution's
something.
fake.
Yeah.
You believe the Bible?
Everything's
You believe
fake.
the Bible's fake?
Wait, we're not actually here. It's just
You
something-
believe?
Bible
You
has
believe the
more.
Bible's fake?
I believe everything.
Honestly, I would dare say the Bible
Well,
has
if the
more.
Bible's fake, why can't evolution be real?
Because
Wait, what?
evolution doesn't make any
Honestly, I would
freaking
dare
sense.
say the
It doesn't
Bible
make
has-
sense to you,
Okay,
just like
wait,
Christianity.
stop. Let's do one at a time so people can understand. So Joshua, you were just about to say something?
I would dare say the Bible has more support for it than evolution.
The Bible has more support for it than any other ancient document of its
We
type
have
of age.
fossils.
So
You don't transition.
fossils
We do have
which
transitionary fossils.
fossils
We
which
do.
disprove
We do.
evolution.
Actually, I'm not sure. We
actually.
do have transitionary fossils.
We do not have transitional
Okay,
fossils.
Alex does not count.
We
That
have a
one fact is
tiny
wrong.
bone flint that they say, oh, this is a transitionary fossil. And out of that one tiny bone flake, they create an entire species. So, Joseph, did you have something to add?
Oh no, I'm just here for the show.
You're just here for
It's
the
darn
Bible.
good television, yeah.
It's darn good television.
Yeah,
you know,
Joseph's just here for the fight.
evolution is a lie. Just letting you know, right? There is adaptation that does exist within species, but transspecial change has never been proven, never been recorded.
All right. Well, I'm not
It
going to
never
get my
happened.
science from people who believe they're going to
So-
float up to meet God or whatever. So
Then you
Okay.
think we came from mud. or
So
mud.
Benjamin-
I don't think we come from mud.
Benjamin,
I don't.
Benjamin, I guess you're not going to get your science in from Newton, Copernicus,
No, not from you guys.
Galileo.
They were all Christians.
They were all Christians.
There's nothing wrong with Christians. There's nothing.
You
wrong.
just said you weren't going to get
You
your
just-
science.
Not all
from
Christians
people.
believe they're going to go up and float up and meet
Yes,
their
we
bodies.
do.
Newton did.
Every Christian does.
Newton
every
did.
Christian-
Galileo
I'm not
did.
talking about them. I'm
Yeah.
talking about you
Copernicus
guys.
did.
I'm talking about you.
So if Benjamin, you want to count, if you want to cut out all Christian,
I'm not
influ-
trying to cut out all Christians.
if
I'm
you
not
want to cut
trying
out all
I'm
Christian
not-
influence in science,
Again, Christians believe in
then
evolution.
you have to destroy science.
I'm not trying to destroy science.
You
Again,
are.
I just said that there are Christians.
You
who-
just said you're not going to get your science from people that believe they're going to float up into the
a
sky.
lot of Christians don't believe that's literal. A lot of Christians don't believe that's literal.
They're wrong.
Of course they're wrong. You say they're wrong, so they're wrong.
The Bible says they're wrong.
Of course,
It's not
yeah,
me.
I know.
It's the Bible.
Niels Bohr.
I just said
Planck,
that they were.
Planck,
I just
Pasteur.
said that. I just said. I just said. Pay
I'm
attention.
just saying, some of the greatest scientists in history believed they were going to float up in the sky.
I said that Christians want the frick. I just said that Christians want the frickin' problem. I just said that.
Y'all
That's
got
a great
sarcasm
discussion.
heated over everything.
You're the one making it heat. Y'all just freaking be like, "Oh, it's stupid."
You're
it's
the
stupid."
one
It's like,
raising your voice.
freaking calm
Benjamin.
down.
You're the one
Gosh.
raising Benjamin. You're the one raising your voice.
It's like, guys, okay, first off, not all Christians believe in that. Okay, if Christians can believe that, like, they can wash up on Sunday and on Saturday, then they can believe whatever the
So,
fuck they
Benjamin, I
want.
think the real issue with you is the supernatural, right? Things that break the laws of physics as we understand them
I mean, if there's a
cannot be
creator,
real.
that breaks
right?
the laws of physics. But what I mean is, I'm not saying it can't be
W-
real.
well said.
Of course, it can
Well
be
said.
real. I'm not disproving.
Well,
I'm
then
not-
how do you know Christians won't float up and meet Jesus in the air?
I'm
I'm
saying.
afraid of heights.
I'm, he's just scared of heights.
How do you know?
I'm talking about Christians who don't. I'm not disproving it or proving it. I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm talking about Christians who believe in evolution.
You just said you're not going to get your science from people that believe they're going to float up into the air to meet with God.
That's because they believe in like unproven things and like science or not
A lot of
proven.
evolution's unproven.
I meant
Oh, this
unproven
is-
as in
Okay.
unsupported by evidence.
Like what?
Unsupported by evidence.
Benjamin, you're raising your voice.
That's because y'all interrupting.
Raise it.
freaking-
Come down. Rick, calm
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Calm down.
Yeah,
What
microphones-
can- okay, so
those
this
microphone's
gets
fake.
fake.
Okay, we need one at a time. One at a time.
microphones are good, so it's probably loud as frick.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
you're
Okay.
probably blasting people out.
What can science prove?
Not prove. I didn't mean prove got thrown it. I meant supported by evidence.
If the Bible has plenty of support.
MacBook.
Just gushed on big
I got
professional.
a MacBook.
I'm
All right,
trying
well-
to be y'all freaking.
Okay, so we lost our audio. We're back. The audio is now on the computer, so I'm going to ask you to speak one at a time, professionally, one at a time, so that the people listening can understand. We're discussing right now evolution and its implications and whether or not Christians are crazy for believing things in the Bible, right? Benjamin sort of brought these concepts together. And Joshua raised a very good point, saying, what can science prove?
Obviously can't prove anything, but it can support with evidence. And what I'm saying is, you guys make fun of me. You guys make fun of me, and you make fun of evolution.
I'm not making fun of you.
them. They make fun of me and they make fun of evolution because it's like, oh, it's stupid. It can't be proved. It doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, the rapture makes sense. People just disappearing.
Point of
oh,
order. Point of
Just a
order.
second. Just a second. Floating up to meet our bodies. That makes sense. You know, that's provable, or that has evidence to it. Oh, and of course, you know, the freaking splitting the ocean in half. That's totally real. So you making fun of evolution and you say, oh, it makes tons of sense.
Do not doubt the power of the blade.
Point
that's how you
of
say it.
order. Point of order. Evolution is pretty stupid. But Joshua has
Of
something
course,
to
he
say.
said
Then
it.
you cannot compare a religious document about a supernatural God
To a
to
theory.
a science.
But what I'm saying is, you guys are saying this as fact, though. You're saying, oh, of course we're gonna go float
It
up our
is
bodies.
fact.
But it's like, guys, if that's fact, then evolution can be fact. Because it's not about proving. It's not about evidence and science.
So it's what you choose to believe.
It's what you guys choose to believe. Yeah, and what I'm saying
And
is,
what you choose to
but
believe.
you make fun of me for what I believe. You make fun of me for what I
No
freaking
one's
believe.
mocking you.
These two are mocking me. They're like, oh,
I'm
we're freaking.
evolution. I'm not mocking you.
And it's
There
like,
you go.
you guys.
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
It's honest.
Yes, it's like that.
It's stupid. It's
So
stupid.
wait. So Dr. Ernst Nagel was a mathematician and philosopher from Hungary. Actually, he came to the United States and worked at Princeton for many, many years. And this is probably one of the most famous publications he's done. And it's called The Structure of Science. And this is the actual first edition from the 60s. And in this book, he talks about what the scientific. Oh, yeah, it has that cool
It
old
does
book
have that.
smell.
It smells like.
Is that old book smell?
Yeah, it smells like
I know.
60. It's cool.
Ah, I love that smell. It
It
has
smells
that.
good.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Old book, like library.
And it's one of those old books where the paper's made very heavy, so the book itself is incredibly
Really
heavy.
Dang, you're right.
Yeah, right. It's not that light book you get today. Anyway, in here he talks about the scientific method and the history behind it, how it's used, its limitations as well as its benefits, right? And what it actually means. And by the end of the book, he really has clarified, and you really should read the whole thing. And it's heady stuff. It's not like light reading at all. I started reading it a while back, and this is one of the excerpts, for example. This is how he speaks, because he was also very intelligent. He said, these general comments on the considerations that determine whether a reduction is a significant advance in the organization of knowledge are only a formal exercise, and on the character of the evidence that actually supports the kinetic theory, direct attention to an important feature of sciences in active development. As has already been suggested, different branches of science may sometimes be delimited on the basis of the theories used as explanatory premises and leading to principles in the respective domains. So it makes sense, but it's deep stuff. So his point is this, and I think he presents a very good argument in here. The scientific method is good. You know, we have benefited from it so much. Medicine, astronomy, even the arts have benefited from it.
Yeah, but the scientific method is fragile, though. It's not reliable.
But it's fragile, and that's his thesis.
No, what the frick are we supposed
Wait,
to believe?
stop. His thesis is the scientific method. Even though there's benefit to it, it is profoundly limited. And as Joseph said, it's fragile. It's a fragile theory. Why? Because it doesn't explain everything. In fact, one thing it cannot do, there's a couple things it can't do. One, it can't prove anything. It can interpret evidence. It can try to apply the interpretation of evidence, but it can't prove anything. And two, it never gives us the why. Right? It gives us the how. If I make a jet engine, I can tell how to make a jet engine, but I can't tell why the things that consist of a jet engine actually work together.
I freaking hate that. It's like,
So-
oh, we can't prove anything except I'm right.
That's
You know, I'm like,
because-
oh, he's right. Oh, my God's right, but oh, we can't prove anything, but I'm
Benjamin, I
right.
have a question for you.
Freaking what?
Are you right?
No, no one's freaking right.
That's because we were not meant to go off science alone.
No, but if we
Yeah,
don't use
evolution-
science, then we're not.
Evolution itself is based completely on science, and that's its mistake.
But what
Well,
I'm
it was-
okay, then
yeah.
what's real?
was
What's
deep.
freaking right then?
Oh,
Hinduism.
no.
Makes sense.
That's fair, yeah.
How does it make sense?
Let's have 5 million false
We all
gods.
become
right?
we all become Hindu at the end of the
Yeah,
episode.
sure.
It's cool.
So actually, Benjamin asks a very good point. What is real? Or can we say that he's asking the same thing Pontius Pilate did when Yeshua stood before him? What is truth?
If you can't prove anything,
It's a
everyone's
provocative
right.
question.
Everyone's
What is
freaking
truth?
right.
What do you think?
I think there's no freaking truth clearly, because freaking nothing's freaking
It has to
provable.
be if there's a
Well, then what's
objective laws of
provable?
physics.
What's provable then?
What's provable?
Yes.
Would you grab the cat?
Coquito
Oh,
Ego
It's,
Film
it's not the fact that we're here right now. That
Oh.
proves
I
that
dropped
there's
the Bible
some.
sign.
Here is the
It was
cat.
like kitty,
Like you saw,
kitty.
she walked. You see her tail. You can watch it.
Oh, can you see her
her
tail?
Coquito Ego Film, you can prove that we exist.
They
So,
can prove we exist, but we can't prove you guys exist.
So,
you
Benjamin,
can't prove we
Benjamin,
exist. You can prove.
are you holding the cat?
I don't know. I
Of course you're holding
don't. I
it.
could never prove I'm holding the cat.
I don't
Can't
think cat.
I mean, I think it's a kitten. I think it's a normal kitten.
Aw.
But I can't prove it's a kitten. Oh, she wants down. She wants down.
Well, that's not a kitten. It's a grown cat.
Well, she's a grown cat now.
Yeah,
It's very small.
She's leaving.
she's
But I-
not petite.
You know, if you can't prove
a
with
fat cat.
science, the only way to prove would be like, oh, well, we'd have to measure her. We
Okay,
could
so
freaking-
what's the purpose of science then?
to give us evidence and to freaking discover things. And the purpose of science is to find truth. That's the whole point of science.
No,
You
it's
told me
not.
that. You said the purpose of science was the search for truth.
Okay, the search for truth is what scientists claim. However, science can never prove or disprove truth, right? The instrument that the scientific method is for us is to try to interpret reality, try to understand the realm around us. That's what we try to do. And again, I highly recommend this book to anybody. It's a long book, but it's very much worth it. Scientific method is great, right? I wouldn't be a doctor without it. But there's a lot more to doctoring than just prescribing Motrin. Like some Motrin prescribed, some's not. And so, what else can I use besides the scientific method to understand the world around me?
I mean, you can have your interpretations, your mind. You know, you can think about things.
Good, that's good.
You can have
Keep
faith
going.
in things. You can believe in things, but that doesn't make it real.
True. Just because you believe something doesn't make it real.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like if everything is just bias and belief and there's nothing and just if you have faith in everything, it's like, oh,
It's not, or is it?
the what's freaking real? Tell me.
The thing that has the most support.
And so the thing with the most support's real?
Yeah.
Okay, I can go with that. Yeah, evolution's real.
Everything is now.
Evolution is the most
I've
support.
looked
It
at
has
Evolution has
look it
almost
up.
no
Look
support.
it up.
Hinduism has the most support.
Actually, it has the most
I-
support because even Christian scientists, so like not
I've
Christian
looked
scientists,
into
the religion
evolution,
scientists
it's
who
not
happen to be
Christians.
Christian, all supporting it, and it's like, oh
But
yeah.
there are many more scientists who are Christian who are not.
Actually,
supporting that.
most scientists believe in evolution. Most scientists.
Not most scientists who are Christians.
What I'm talking about though is if it's most science, then it go. I can find you a white paper that freaking supports evolution.
And I can find you a
But-
white paper that doesn't.
So then who the frick is right?
And that's the question
that's
that I
stupid.
posit to you.
This is stupid.
But evolution is this thing that mitochondria came about from when a cell ate a smaller cell.
I don't freaking know the ins and outs. I'm not a nerd. I don't freaking know. All I know is I'm going based. If we're going based on
Yeah,
science,
you're actually pretty much a nerd.
I am
Yeah,
actually
yes,
a nerd.
he's a
You
nerd.
have no.
I listen to Dungeons and
Yo,
Dragons
for free knowledge.
podcasts
Yeah,
like a
that's
nerd. It's
pretty
freaking-
nerdy. I'm just saying. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if it's about what's closest, then what are you using? You're using your senses. You're using measurements. It's about closest. So if it's not science, then what the frick is it then?
Logic.
I guess
If it's not, so it's logic. So what about the Bible's logical?
everything about the Bible.
What
is
about
logical.
evolution is logical? It doesn't make any
So,
freaking
but
sense.
what about the Bible's logical?
Touche.
But he said it's about logic. So what about
At
the
least
Bible's
the
logical?
Bible-
I'm not
Bible-
saying that. I'm just saying
Okay,
that.
the
that-
No,
Bible-
but he said it though. So
Okay,
I'm asking you
one
about
at a
his
time.
question.
Benjamin, again, you need to calm down.
I am calm.
You
It's
were
just-
not being attacked.
I know I'm not being that, but
Okay.
it's just,
At least the Bible gives us the whys. Instead of
it gives us the
Not
Bible.
really,
It
though.
gives us what
really does.
God created the universe.
Really?
It gives us what God.
Why
made.
did God create the universe?
It does.
It does tell us why. I
Why?
can't give you the
Why
exact
does it?
answer, though.
Do you want the answer to that?
Yeah.
Love.
Okay, why does he love us?
Chose to.
But why did he choose to do that?
Chose to.
He chose, but why?
Chose to.
That's not a reason.
Okay,
That
well,
is
well,
absolutely-
I chose
God,
to.
he can
I chose
flex
to.
That's
with
like your parents saying, because I said so. That's like, it's
Straight up.
It
straight up.
is, because it's not a reason saying I
It is
chose.
a reason.
Then why did he choose to?
He chose to.
But why?
He
Because
chose
dinosaurs
to.
couldn't.
Why do you
choose-
choose
Wait,
love
that's circular reason. He keeps ending up saying, "Oh, he chose to."
Why
He
do
chose
you
to.
love
That's
God?
circular reason. It's
Why do
not
you- why do you
logical.
love God?
It's not logical.
Oh, that's a very good question. Do you love Abby?
Sometimes
Why?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
when she doesn't scratch my face up.
Why?
Why do I love her? Because she's so tiny and cute and innocent.
Why?
Why?
That cat is
Because
not innocent.
what?
That cat is.
I mean,
innocent.
she's not. I love her because it's in my nature.
It's in your nature to
It's in
love
my
a
nature.
cat?
Yes, it is. In
It's-
my,
There are people that don't love cats.
I am not those people.
I am not a cat lover.
I am not those
Exactly.
people.
Not anymore.
No.
After Abby.
Before we got Abby, it was-
So,
She's good.
Benjamin,
though.
you love her because you chose to love her.
I didn't choose to love her. It
You
happened.
did. Love is not a feeling.
Well, it happened for me.
No,
so.
it didn't. You chose it.
I didn't choose to love her. I just kind of
When we got
gained
to Glenn, we
love.
said,
her.
oh,
Okay,
no.
so to you, is love a feeling?
No, it's
You
it's
feel
not,
warm and fuzzy, so you're in love?
No, obviously. I mean, I'm not in love with the cat, but I gained love for the cat. Seeing her little fragile, she was the runt of the litter. I gained
Are you
love for her.
confusing love with a stomach ailment?
No, don't confuse love with the. Yeah.
Winifred, do not confuse. what
It's
it is,
not logical.
yeah,
It's not
that's
scientific. But
logical.
what I'm saying is, love is different because love is freaking. It's not something that can be proven. You can't measure love. You can't say, oh,
Yes.
But what
yes,
I'm saying
that's
is,
exactly right.
but it's
You
not
got it.
logical.
That's exactly.
But he said it was. But the most real thing was about logic. He said it was about logic.
Well, I think that's an interesting perspective. But my point is, most of the things that we have in life, that we experience and we know in life, are not logical.
Well, then what the freaking point is that?
A parent's love for their child to the point where they will give their life for a little tiny baby that can't even change his own diapers, that's not logical. Wouldn't it evolutionarily make sense that the baby dies since it's weak and the parent just has more children later?
Well, survival of the fittest isn't really about just
I'm-
strong.
I'm just
I think
saying.
I think you're ignorant
I'm
of what
just
survival
saying.
of
Do
the
you know
fittest
what
is.
Darwin's
Yeah, okay, I've
said?
studied it
understand.
more than you have, bro. So.
Sure, but what I mean is like,
Medical school, hello.
right? But what I'm saying is,
Bino's like, no, I know better.
no, but
Darwin-
he's misunderstanding or he's
No,
misinterpreting.
the point that I'm making, of course, is that things don't make sense. And most things in our life don't make sense.
But he said that we should go by logic for what's real.
I mean, logic is a tool, but it's not the only tool. And logic doesn't always determine what's real.
but what I'm saying
That's
is the
why-
Bible's not logical. So clear.
Correct. The
So-
Bible isn't always, it is sometimes, but it isn't
Excuse
always
me?
logical.
Yes,
You said to follow things based on
Let's
logic.
take our world
Logic,
and scientific.
science, and
let-
reason.
let's
Those
ask-
are all things that doesn't
One
go
at a
by.
time, one at a time.
Yes.
Wait,
Really,
wait,
so
stop. Benjamin, calm down. Joseph had a point.
You keep saying the Bible is illogical, and I agree with you in that. But I'm just saying, let's absolutely take our world and scientific view from a belief that was plagiarized. I'm just saying.
From the Jews.
No. He plagiarized. He didn't come up with anything. He took ideas from
Darwin?
people.
Yeah.
He took ideas
No,
from people.
Darwin.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously
Like
he didn't invent evolution. But what I'm talking about is
He marketed it.
Yeah,
That's
What
what
I-
he
what
did.
I-
jobs of evolution.
what
I
I'm ta-
apologize.
Well, he also did science.
I apologize.
He
Just
researched
again,
moths.
Benjamin. Hannah has a point.
I say love is actually a feeling, because if you actually love someone or something, then you're gonna actually want that.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, Hannah, but I disagree. For example, when you get in trouble, which is not very often, do you feel loved?
No.
But are you still loved by your parents even though you're being disciplined?
No.
Yes. Yes, Hannah, you are. When you are disciplined, we're still loving you. In fact, discipline is a sign of love. So love is not a feeling. We love you because we choose to love you. It's a choice.
Joe's over there.
Joseph
like,
had something.
Oh no.
it's funny.
That's right. His question.
So,
He's like, there's no
so love is not a feeling. It may involve feelings sometimes, but when the feelings are gone, you can still choose to love.
I think Christmas is a feeling.
Is Christmas a feeling?
Christmas is a feeling. Sorry.
So, interesting point. So Benjamin asks a provocative question here. We only have 10 minutes left, unfortunately. What is real? What is truth? That's really his question.
The chimichanga.
The chimichanga, the greatest of the
You can't prove a
of the
chimichanga even
Mexican
exists.
foods. Is,
Yeah, we
the
can.
chimichanga.
How?
I'm more of
Delicious.
a
Only
I'm a
evidence.
classic
That's
burrito
not
guy.
proof.
Or
That's
soft taco.
subjective feeling.
Soft tacos are awesome.
Yeah.
I think soft tacos are better than hard tacos. But Benjamin asks this question: what do you guys think? What is truth?
What's true, Joe? What's real?
Hinduism.
That's it. He's
It
just
explains all of our
okay.
problems. All of our
Hinduism
questions-
is not real.
All of our questions are answered.
You gotta go kill some Buddhists now?
Yeah, freaky.
Okay. All right. Joshua, what's truth? What's real?
What's real?
Tristan,
Yeah, Josh. Answer the question, Josh.
If you don't know, then how do you know what you believe is real?
I have faith as well.
Yeah, but is that real?
I hope so.
If you don't have the answer, then I don't have the answer, and he doesn't have the
I
answer.
have
Who the
faith
fuck-
of a thing that has the most support, archaeologically, historically, that kind of stuff, is true.
But archaeologically, it could be anything, because we.
Okay.
Actually,
No.
archaeologically, evolution only has evidence going about 600 years, but everything else, religion period is going back to the dawn of time.
Actually,
basically.
Joe, we have evidence of. We have ice from millions of years ago.
The Earth
Millions
wasn't
of-
around millions of
million-
years
The
ago.
Earth
dated how-
was around.
how-
It
how
was
the
not
ice dated?
around.
They date it with
Millions of
layers
years
of the
ago.
ice.
Okay, so
We're talking
ice.
about ice
ice-
cores.
I'm talking about the ice.
Fascinating.
ice
Yes,
melts
which
and
it's actually really cool.
Yeah,
they
they drill in,
huge.
bring
Ice,
these
ice,
cores
ice
out,
melts
yeah.
and reforms, bro. You
I
can't use
understand,
ice,
but
you can't
Joe,
use ice as a,
Joe, this is gonna blow your mind. But ice that's frozen in the middle of Antarctica stays frozen.
No, that melts too.
It stays
So
frozen.
there's actually
It
volcanic
stays frozen.
activity underneath.
I understand, but where they
So-
drill,
Plus,
has been
penguin pee's
where-
warm.
penguin.
I mean, like, right? I mean, like,
That's how they melt it.
seals and bears.
They've been
their
messing
pee's
with the
warm.
data.
Yeah,
They mess
yeah,
with the data.
straight up, you gotta-
Joe, ice cores where they drill has been frozen for
Okay.
millions of years,
So
and
here-
we can prove that by looking at the layers. It's not the very bottom isn't melting, then we form melting. It's not doing that because we would be able to detect that, and we haven't.
Oh, are you done?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ice core science is amazing, of course. I forget the name of it. But the question is on the table, what is truth? What is real? Hannah,
I say God is,
how do you know?
because if he wasn't real, we wouldn't be here.
I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. So the reality is this: in order to ascertain truth, right, to answer Pontius Pilate's question, which was ironic because truth was standing before him when he asked it. In order to ascertain truth, we have to have a higher authority to tell us what is true. You believe evolution because you had higher authorities, PhDs and people, not just in your school but online, who told you it was true, and you were like, yeah, that makes sense to me. It's true. Therefore, that is truth, right? But is it objective truth?
Well, there's no objective truth because
I disagree.
There has to
There
be some sort of
absolutely
objective
is
truth,
objective
well,
truth.
obviously there has to be something objective. So what I'm saying is,
wait,
the Bible's
stop! You
true.
interrupted me. So, my what was a dog? My point is this: if we're going to look for truth, it can only be defined by an authority greater than ourselves to help define that truth. We are human beings. We mess up everything. We're going to disagree about what's better, spaghetti or lasagna, right? What is true? So we need an outside authority, something higher than ourselves. As a society in the West, we look to our scientists, our learned people, our doctors, and our PhDs, right? And they tell us what is true. But because they're people, they fight and argue all the time. You want to get your head in a spin? Read white papers. Because one will say the sky is blue, the other will say it's azul. And they'll just fight and they'll fight and they'll fight and they'll fight over and over. So it has to be something to build them, right? To define truth. We know truth exists because we're here. If there were no objective truth or no standard, the universe could not exist. The universe is set on laws, right?
Yes.
So, what is the highest possible authority to which we could go that we could trust to tell us what is true?
Can't be the Bible.
I'm asking. I didn't ask
It
what
has
it wasn't.
to
I know, but it
be
can't
a
be the
God.
Bible because the
So
Bible's
it
written by
has to
men.
be. It has to be the one who created the universe and was outside of it, and set the universe into place. Right? This intelligent design.
Sure.
The one who created the laws of physics by which everything runs.
Yes.
On a quantum level,
Yes.
as well as on a what's cosmologic? Is that the word I'm looking for? Level. So
Yeah, explain to me scientifically how.
wait, just a second.
Explain to me scientifically how the
Bit-
flood.
Stop. So we need that higher authority. That is my point. And if we define truth by anything under that authority and not by that authority himself, we're going to be in this. We're going to be in a battle and a war over and over that will never get an answer. So objective truth, one, it does exist, and two, it is not defined by us. It's defined by someone greater than us, that higher authority. I leave it on the table.
And the Bible is the higher authority. Oh wait, that was written by men. Oh wait, it was they had divine inspiration. We're trusting them that they had.
Is there anything that I wasn't talking about the Bible? Is there anything
know,
that I
I'm talking
just said that you disagree with?
No.
Okay. Joshua, what are your thoughts about what I just said?
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right? Okay. So that begs the question then, who is God? So the question is no longer what is truth.
Ramen.
Truth is defined.
Because well, we're
I
Buddhists.
thought you said ramen.
Oh, ramen.
Oh,
Ramen
right.
is good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah,
Freaking
fair enough.
delicious. Freaking delicious.
Too high in salt though. Blood pressure right through
Oh,
the roof.
that's definitely true.
So, we know truth cannot be defined by us. It has to be defined by this highest authority, which created all things, and therefore objective truth exists. Number one. Number two, which God? Because mankind, in our foolishness, has invented millions of gods, right?
Well, obviously, the only God that could be true,
Krishna.
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 Hannah.
I don't think.
The only
He just stood up
God
ignoring us
is
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
the
flash.
one who created this land.
America?
Because he's the way, the truth, and the life.
Well, that's what Yeshua says. That's how he describes himself. But is there anything about Yeshua or the scripture that is unique among all the other millions of gods man has come up with?
And uniqueness makes it true.
No.
I know what you're
I'm
getting
just
at.
asking.
I know what you're getting
Yeah.
at.
I'm
There
just
are actually
asking.
Other religions.
There were other religions that have had gods that rise from the dead, gods
true,
that
true.
have their sons
True,
into
true.
humans. So it's
Yep. Name two.
I think one of the-
ancient Egyptian.
Yeah, I think
No,
one
no,
of the-
you
one of
gotta
No, no.
name.
the- yeah,
Horus.
one of the
Horus didn't act. That was not part of the original stories of Horus. Horus added centuries later.
Yes,
by
it
other
was.
people.
But still
So-
before Jesus.
That was
It was still dated before Jesus, though.
no.
so,
That
mic drop.
that what is the point I'm making? Okay, so in those other religions, there you have your Krishna, right, which is the multi-fractured false god of Hinduism, which fractures into over 5 million little pieces, and they
Krishna's
all
a
worship
god.
each one. So
millions of expressions.
little pieces.
I think
So
there's only like
right,
3 real gods.
then you
Something
have
like that.
what is it called? It begins with an M.
Mormons?
No.
Um,
Mennonites?
It's a false god. I forget.
Many guys.
Minthra? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I know what
It's
you're talking about.
Mithra. Yes, Mithra, which is it Greek or is it Proto-Greek?
I've never heard of this.
One of these false gods that's like, oh, he rose from the dead, and that's where they got the idea of Jesus rising from the dead. But if you look at these legends of Krishna and Mithra, and even Horus, and the story of Horus was corrupted, by the way.
Before Jesus, though.
It doesn't matter.
But what I'm saying is
Doesn't
it predates
Oh,
Jesus.
so just because it's older makes it too.
But just 'cause it's younger makes it true.
Benjamin, when was the resurrection of Yeshua first mentioned?
Like 70 AD. Like freaking.
No.
I don't freaking know. Tell me then.
It's mentioned in Genesis.
It was mentioned in Genesis.
It was mentioned.
It was mentioned in the Tanakh.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course, yeah.
If you studied your Bible.
Oh,
you
it's but
heard
the
that.
older is true. I got you.
The point that I'm making is this: the things about Horus and Mithra and Krishna, all of those quote unquote resurrections, right, which supposedly corrupted Christianity or influenced Christianity, those were written hundreds, if not 1,000 years. I think it was about 800 years to 1,000 years after the event supposedly took place.
Actually, Hinduism predates Judaism.
So
That's not what I'm talking
Ah,
about.
different conversation. Different
Then-
conversation.
That's not what I'm talking about.
The resurrection and the Messiah figure has always been part of Judaism.
Okay, but let's talk about
And-
before the resurrection,
wait,
the Old
you-
Testament
You
God.
guys, we're running out of time here. So the point I'm making is this: there's something unique about both the Bible and Yeshua, right?
Doesn't make it true.
That you're still interrupting.
Sorry.
I had asked
I
you to
can't get
be
a word in. I'm sorry.
respectful.
I'm sorry.
You're the
I'm
one
trying.
that's been talking.
I'm
the only one talking.
I'm trying.
So there's something unique about the Bible and about Yeshua, unique beyond any other religion, right? Not just who Yeshua is, his death, his resurrection, his ascension, his imminent return, whenever that will be, when it pleases him, but also the extraordinary closeness or proximity by which the sacred texts were written after Yeshua rose from the dead, right? With, for example, Buddha, if he ever even existed, with the text date 800 to 1,000 years after. In the Zoroastrianism, that text dates up to 1,500 years after supposedly what happened. And yet Yeshua, the people that witnessed his life, right, lived with him, died for him, wrote about him before they died a decade or two after the ascension. So my point is this: there's something unique about that. So my encouragement would be this: if the Bible is so wrong, if it's just a bunch of silly fairy tales and garbage by crazy men who, for whatever reason you don't enjoy, who doesn't love a good fairy tale, then my encouragement would be, prove it. Prove it. I can easily prove Hinduism's wrong, and Buddhism's wrong, and Zoroastrianism is wrong, and Shintoism is wrong. It's easy. You prove the Bible is wrong, and then we'll look at your evidence, and we'll get back to you. We have 2 minutes left. Benjamin, you wanted to mention
Well,
something?
it's really hard to prove Hinduism wrong because they don't make claims like when you die.
It's very easy to prove
Like,
Hinduism wrong.
Actually, when you die, you get reincarnated.
Because you get
Oh, yeah, but what I
reincarnated,
mean
they
is-
do the karma thing, and that's all.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like
social credit system, basically.
social credit system.
That's exactly what it is. So
Whatever.
Hinduism's pretty easy to prove wrong, but you had a point you were going to make. We have a couple minutes left.
I mean, the Bible. The thing is, the Bible it's made so it can't be proven wrong. Like it's made in a way so that way like
The Bible's made in a way so it can't
it's
be
it's
proven
itself
wrong.
itself
I disagree.
protects. But what I mean is
Yeah. I
like
don't think that's true.
what I mean is there are things in the Bible that can't be proven. We cannot prove that the Red Sea ever parted. We cannot prove that Adam and Eve existed. We cannot prove that
Mitochondrial Eve.
predates
Mitochondrial
each other
Eve.
by 100,000 years.
They don't.
They do.
That's
we
a
just
misinterpretation of the data.
Oh, but he's not misinterpreting the Bible at all. At all. What I mean is like
I
I was
mean-
still talking, Josh. What I mean is what I mean. Frick this. Whatever. Just end the freaking Bible story. I don't care. I don't
Joshua,
care.
you had a point.
Let's see, splitting. We can't prove it now, but it was written with people that were around when it happened were alive. They could have easily disproven if it was a lie.
Oh, so should we?
Wait,
We should
okay.
believe things they
And
didn't
that's,
disprove back
that's
then.
a good point, Joshua. If
Oh, you're right.
when the Gospels were written and the epistles of Paul, which even predate the Gospels, well, those are written while the men and women who witnessed all this stuff were alive. If it was false, why didn't they just truck out Jesus' body and say, "Oh, here's the proof.
Yeah, why didn't they?
Everything's a lie"?
Why didn't they?
What?
Because he wasn't
What?
there.
Of course.
So,
You didn't
On-
find an answer.
on
I'm
that
not
note,
that-
I'm glad that Benjamin has not at all been hostile this entire time. But thank you for joining us. We've run out of time. A fascinating Q&A session today. And as Benjamin said, I guess it makes for good television.
It's
very
definitely
good. This is very
entertaining.
good.
It's entertaining.
So thank you guys for joining us as always. It's a blessing. Thank you guys for joining us and your feedback. I have thoroughly enjoyed it as always.
My pleasure.
And I pray that God will give you a good Shabbat, a Shabbat Shalom, and a Shavua Tov, which means what?
Have a good
Have a
week.
good week.
Have a good week, and I pray that God will bless you guys with a good week as well as you. Joshua, I'm going to ask you to turn off the computer because I can't reach it. Meanwhile, please do not forget to pray for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation